Most of that loop is now gravel. So
hey guys, welcome to mine and the Quickie King's ride to Indian Mountain. We actually did this ride a few weeks ago, and I've just kind of slowly been editing it, and finally got the editing done, and now I'm going to do the commentary. And so yeah, it's a really cool climb on the Indian Reserve. So we're riding from my house. Takes probably about a little bit less than an hour to get to the climbing point. So we're just going to take some a back road that allows us to avoid a bunch of traffic, and we get to ride past a bunch of these huge grain elevators. Lots of train tracks to deal with. Officially, this road is actually, it's a private road for the railway company, and they do have signs posted, you're not supposed to be there kind of thing, but as long as you don't bother the trains or look like you're doing something nefarious, they don't bother you. So a lot of people do ride their bikes down there. Here's a really old grain elevator, and this one's falling apart. It looks like they've just finally there was like this little underpass kind of thing with a roof on it that you would ride through, and there was like a sheet metal roof, and it had holes in it from stuff falling through it. So when you were riding underneath it, at any time something could fall off the building and kill you. So they finally gotten rid of that part there. I mean, the building is so big, and I don't know how much it would cost to tear something, blow something like that apart, so they just let them sit there and rot. Now this second one, it's still being used for something. I don't think it's actually being used for grain. I think it's being used for something else, but there's still electricity going to it and lights, and looks like it's reasonably maintained. The city I live in used to actually be the third largest grain port in the world, and I don't think we are anymore, but it provided lots of good paying jobs for a good number of years. So we're crossing the mighty Kaministiquia River across the Jackknife Bridge. I think this bridge is over 100 years old. Yeah, I saw the plate on it. It's like 100 years old or a little bit over. Definitely not designed for modern transportation needs, but it's owned by, from what I understand, it's actually owned by the railway company, so if they don't want to fix it, they don't have to. They're basically doing us a favor by letting us use it. It was the legal situation, I understand. So that's Mount McKay looming in the distance. I've taken you there a few times, and I'll be taking you there some more this winter, especially on my new fat tire Surly Pugsley Necromancer. Just a beautiful time of year with the fall foliage. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that's the mighty Mount McKay on the other side. I don't think I've really shown you this side of it before. Yeah, if you notice there, I shifted gears with the palm of my hand because my thumb was still so sore from my motorcycle accident a couple months ago that I still can't push the shifter with my thumb. So here we are in the south, there I go again using my palm, in the southeast corner of the reserve. And this road runs along Lake Superior and runs along these cliffs. It's an absolutely beautiful spot. Really lucky to have some place like that so close. I mean, everything where I live is just a hop, skip, and a jump away when it comes to nature and natural beauty. So I think this is called Squaw Bay Road. It's not maintained. It's really quite rocky in places, but it's not so bad. There's a few short, steep hills, but nothing too dramatic. Gives you an idea how bumpy it is there. It's all rock, kind of underneath the leaves, and makes it a little bit treacherous because you can't actually see what you're riding over. Beautiful view of Lake Superior on the left. Check out all the shale here on the right. It's like little bits of rock that have fallen off the cliff over years and years and years. Hundreds, if not thousands of years. Sweet little downhill section here. My front shock on this bike is set up really, really stiff. because I've been doing a lot more like gravel road riding on it, and I don't want it being all mushy gushy. There I am using the palm of my hand to shift. This was probably the toughest climb that we had to deal with. It's a stiff little thing, plus it's somewhat traction limited, so a little bit technical. Lots of hunks of rock that your rear tire can slip out on you. I haven't been doing a lot of mountain biking, like real mountain biking, so my technical skills are, they're definitely lacking. They're bumpy downhill. Roads covered with leaves, so you don't know what kind of rocks are underneath.
This is the spot here.
So we get to the trailhead. This is where we start climbing. You can see the cliff behind those trees.
Very cool.
We don't actually climb the cliff. There's actually a gap between two mounts, and we end up making our way up between them. But it's a really, really cool spot. I discovered it a few weeks ago on my motorcycle, and I said, Quickie King, we definitely have to come back here and climb this. It looks freaking awesome. So we decide, yeah, we're going to lock our bikes up to trees, because this section of road, people do come down here exploring it by foot, by bike, by four-wheel drive, and it is hunting season, and it's on the reserve, so it sees a fair bit of traffic. So we decide to lock our bikes up to a couple of trees, or one tree there. We figure out a system. There we go. Looks like he's going to wrap another cable around there, and I think we'll be good to go. We'll probably be away from the bikes for around an hour. Someone wants to cut through that tree, I guess they can. They must really want our bikes. So, here we are, ready to rock and start making our way up. So all these rocks that you see here are basically rocks and boulders that have fallen off the edge of the cliff over, again, hundreds, thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years. Some of them are the size of you and me. Some of them are bigger than that. In fact, some of them are as big as a house. It must have been a pretty awesome event when those things fell off the side. So it makes for a great workout. Nice hour of biking to get there, and then climbing these, bouldering these big rocks made for a pretty sweet cardiovascular workout. And the other sweet thing is some of the views and vistas of Lake Superior are just awesome. So here's one of the vistas.
This is the rock I climbed on up here on my video.
So what we're doing now, when I came out here a few weeks before we did this, I came out here on a motorbike and climbed my way up a little bit with a helmet on. So I climbed up to this point, and again, just a flippin' beautiful view.
4 pounds, it totally affects your balance. Like when you have to have.
And I said, I gotta come back here, and we gotta climb all the way to the top.
The color of the water, right? It's cool.
And literally, you could drive from my house in a car, you could get to this point in like 15-20 minutes. But I mean, it just looks like we're in the remote wilderness. One of the benefits of living in an isolated place.
And then it just went down from here, so.
So now we continue our way up, pointing out the gap between this mount and the next one. It looks like you can probably climb up between them. So that's where we're heading, kind of crossing our way. Heading up a few steps at a time.
It's easy to break a leg or an ankle or something here. You fall into one of these.
Yeah, you really got to watch your step, because some of these rocks are set in pretty good. Some of them are still pretty loose, and you know, the gaps and holes between them, you could probably pretty easily break your ankle or even break your leg trying to find your way. And because a lot of these gaps here are filled in with leaves, they might not actually even be a foothold there. If you put your foot in there, you might actually fall into some sort of crevasse.
Cut over here.
Another gorgeous view. Here we go again, another view.
Well, you would think they would.
Man, what an absolutely amazing time of year. The area I live in the fall is just stunning. And if you agree, hit the like button. Look at the color of the water too. It's like aqua. That's the mighty Lake Superior. So keep climbing our way up. Just one beautiful view after another. That view never gets old.
I guess it isn't very fertile soil here.
So it looks like we finally make our way up to the edge of the cliff. And looks like people actually come out here and climb that. There's some bolts and stuff drilled into the side. We're not going to climb it. I'm not that crazy. There's a shout out to Matt Miller. He's another moto vlogger who I know is into climbing. He'd probably want to climb that.
Okay, well,
keep making our way across. So here's this is actually, I think, the split between the two mounts that I saw, and yeah, if you were a true climber, yeah, you probably could climb that, free climb that little gap there, but yeah, we're not going to attempt it, so we're going to go look for another spot. Quickie Kings probably could climb that. Oh! Scratch the lens on my GoPro.
Well, people left those kinds of comments on it. They said they got uncomfortable and not in their stomach just watching you.
Great time of year to do this. No bugs, no mosquitoes, and no black flies. And the other thing is, we got ticks bad in our area now. This spot I thought was really cool. So all these little rocks basically have, again, themselves fallen off and rolled their way down there. It was really kind of neat. And this is, these rocks aren't really set in place, so they can easily roll down. Not the greatest foothold, so a good thing we kind of came out at the top of it, because it would have been interesting to climb it, although I do want to go back and climb those rocks. It'd be a nice little workout, actually. So, start making our way up. The fact that I have to use my hands there gives you an idea how steep this section actually is.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Using the twigs to pull myself up. Some of them are like prickle bushes, so you go and reach for them and grab them, and you're like, ah! And find something else to hold on to.
Nature's way of saying stay away. Nature's way of saying stay away.
Man, this part here really got my heart rate going. I think I got up into the 150s, which is like almost close to race pace heart rate on a bicycle for me. So keep making our way up. Looking for anything I can grab onto to pull myself up. Definitely a tough slog. Awesome little bit of cardio here. Works. It's a great workout because number one, it's cardio. Number two, it's using your muscles. Number three, you have to kind of stabilize and support yourself. Use supporting muscles. So I can see how climbing is a awesome total body workout. I just looked at my heart rate monitor there. I did have a heart rate strap on. I'm like, hey, my hearts are really pumping. So now we're really bushwhacking. And I kind of have to use these. Oh, I think this is where I find the puff little thing. No. Is this a spot? Yeah. Watch this. I forget what these things are called.
Yeah. It looks like corrosive from Borderlands.
Maybe those are like fungal spores that come out of them. Used to love playing with those as a kid. I used them all up, so there was nothing left for Quickie King to play with. So I think, yeah, here we finally make it to the top. And now we have to kind of bushwhack our way to find a spot with a good view.
How you doing?
This is kind of what it's like where I live. You know, you want to say, hey, let's go for a walk in the woods, but there's so much underbrush that you can't just do a straightforward walk in the woods around here.
Here's a cut behind here.
So now we're trying to find edge of the cliff that feel comfortable approaching. The other thing is, like, soil and leaves go right up to the edge of the cliffs. I want to see exposed rock so that I know what I'm stepping on before I go to the edge. At least that's what I wanted to find, but we couldn't find any spots like that. Jeez, look at that view. Unflippin' rail.
Exposed rock, you know what I mean? I just want to clear an obstructed view.
So there's some rock there, but there's kind of a crack and crevice just before you get there, so yeah, didn't quite feel comfortable going there either. So now I find a spot. You can actually see the nylon webbing on that tree there. That's actually a climbing spot where people climb up the cliff face. So that's where we decide to go check out the view and take a little bit of a break and have some snacks. Snack time. Yeah, and there's actually, right where that tree is, there's actually a crevasse.
What's that?
So the part that we're actually going to go stand on is slowly separating from the main part of the cliff. So I don't know how long it's going to take before it finally falls off. I guess rainwater going down there, eventually splitting it off. Yeah, now I'm so close to the edge that I don't feel comfortable really standing up. So I'm using all the twigs in the trees. And there's a drop right there. You would die if you fell. So yeah, it was quite a tough little slog and climb to get up there, but the view is most definitely worth it. So we sit down, take a little break, breather, and I have myself a little snack, power bar. Just get a camera to show you guys the view. So the mountains we're on are part of the Nor'wester Mountain Range. It runs along Lake Superior. Power bar. Got a carb up. All in all, this was 3 hours of pretty much non-stop exercise, except for this break here. Got to keep the carbs coming in. So here the Quickie King takes out his Samsung Galaxy to take some photos, and he drops it. And he drops it right on a rock. And it basically cracks his touch screen. And apparently he went to price out a repair, and it was like $180. And he's a starving student, so I've noticed he still hasn't gotten repaired because it's still actually working. Hold on, he's going to show us the screen there in a second.
Look at that screen.
Ouch. That hurts. So we end up making our way down. There's just a couple other things I wanted to show you guys. So yeah, show you this rock field, and again, the beautiful view. I'd like to go to the bottom of that and climb up and do it like 2 or 3 times. Probably take like 15 minutes of solid climbing. Be an awesome cardio workout. Probably gonna have to come here in the winter time and do it. My brother would be up for doing that sort of thing. And now check this out. Oh, it's like a frisbee or a disc that literally fell off the side, and it's stuck into the ground. It dug itself into the ground. Like if that thing had fallen off while you were walking past, it would have split you in half. I thought that was kind of cool. And then, what did I want to show you here? Yeah, just another gorgeous view. Yeah, take your breath away. And then some of these rocks are just flipping huge, like this one here. So freaking big, it's got like its own ecosystem growing on top of it. I wanted to climb up on top of it, but I'm kind of a little more vertically challenged than the Quickie King, and I couldn't get up there. But this is what this whole part is. It's just these huge rocks and boulders that you got to climb over, and some of them are so big that it's kind of scary and somewhat dangerous actually to walk between them. Now look at that rock there is being held in place by that rock on top of it. So when they fell and were sliding down, that's where they stopped. I thought that was kind of cool.
How hard was it to jump up? It's being held in place.
See how it's being held in place by that bigger rock? Awesome. That's friggin' awesome. Yeah, it took me a while to edit this video and do this commentary because it's not going to get a lot of views, but I know the people that do watch it are the kind of people that appreciate it.